Martial arts school owners, how are you keeping hold of your students? That's a super important question you always need to have at the forefront of your mind. How am I keeping hold of my students? How am I making sure that each week, each month, my net enrollment or my active count, the number of members I have, continues to grow? What you can't have, if you want it to be successful, is have a revolving door culture in your school so that people enroll and then people are leaving all of the time. What you don't want as well is one of the worst situations to be in. It's January the 1st of a brand new year, you've got 100 students. Then on December the 31st, you've either still got 100 or even less than 100. I know I mention this a lot in my videos, I mention it in the book as well. You're either going up or you're going down. You're not flatlining, okay? Flatline is actually going down. You don't see it as quick as you would do on the other things. So you need to make sure that you're getting enough enrollments each and every week, each and every month, each and every quarter. But lots of business owners, again, martial arts school owners, were guilty of this, don't appreciate or don't look after one of the best assets that they've got, which is their existing clients or existing students. So think to yourself, they're the ones that pay the bills, they're the ones that pay the wages, they're the ones that pay the rent, the lease, the phone line, the broadband, whatever it is. Your existing students are the ones that are keeping their doors open. So we must look after them. Now, little caveat here, I'm not saying that some students you wouldn't like to see the back of, or that you would like to see the back of. Of course, we've all been there, all right? But I bet 99% of your students and your families are fantastic, and you're lucky to have them, definitely. Of course, there's going to be that 1% that you wish you hadn't enrolled, but you'll learn from that moving forward. There's always 1% in any school I look at, maybe a little bit 2-3%, that no matter what you do, they're never going to be happy. That's just life. You need to make sure that you're always appreciating the ones that value your service. So, for instance, now some of my mentees, or especially those that I speak to for the first time, say, "Well, how do I keep hold of my students? What's the one thing?" There is no one thing to keep hold of your students. However, it could all be bundled under the bracket of you need to make sure that they see that you care about them. And again, there's lots of different things that you could do underneath that as well. A big thing as well is making sure that you've got that commitment for them to train to black belt and beyond. I've mentioned this on other videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. You need to make sure that they understand the true value of training to black belt with you at your school and how many transferable life skills that will bring. So if you're just enrolling them, throwing them over the wall, then moving on to the next student, then they're going to feel a little bit probably mistreated, a bit of a negative touch point there. You need to make sure that once they've enrolled, you're having regular contact, you and or your team members and or your junior instructor team, making sure that they're being looked after each lesson, each week, each month, and so on, until they become more confident with you, your systems, your program, and so on. So, for instance, now just to list off a few things that I would do if I was starting again to make sure that I was looking after my students and that they knew I appreciated their business. When they enroll, I'd make a welcome call within 24 hours a day after just to check if everything's okay and if I can help them with anything. And again, explain, what the next few weeks looks like. I'd write them a handwritten letter. I wouldn't type one up, even though I've got bad handwriting. Again, it just goes the extra mile. I put it in an envelope, handwrite the address, a live stamp on it, not send that off. From me, the head instructor, the master instructor. I'd also get one of my team members to write a welcome letter as well, different than the one I'd wrote, but again, it's just another little touch point. I'd make sure that I'm making, birthday calls once a year. I'd make sure that when they've enrolled, I call them within 24 hours, but then I call them after the first week, after the second week, then I'll leave it 2 weeks. I'll call them on week 4, then I'll call them maybe on week 6, then possibly on week 8, then I'd stretch it out to 4 weeks after that, 12 weeks, and so on. So I'd then be making sure that me and or my team, or ideally all of us, know the parents' names of family support network, whoever it is that brings them, what they do for a living, and things like that. Really, people don't care until they know that you care. So you always need to appreciate the students that you've got because, like I said, they're paying for they're paying to keep the lights on, they're paying for your food shopping, your car finance, whatever it is. So let's appreciate the existing students that we've got. So there's no one thing that's going to keep hold of students. Of course, ensuring that they commit to training to black belt is a massive thing, because they can see further than this is just a kicks and punches thing that I'm going to do for a few weeks, and I'm going to go and jump into netball or basketball or football or scouts or girl guides and so on like that. You need to make sure they understand that this is a good developmental piece, a big part of their education and their future success. This isn't just a seasonal recreational sport where you teach them what are classes like the kicks and punches. Again, make welcome calls, make welcome letters, make sure that you're holding regular one-to-ones during the first few weeks. Have those orientation calls booked in at a week, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, moving on and so on. Speak to them before and after lesson. Just make sure they can see that you care about them and that they're just not another number. They're just not another, brick in the wall. You need to make sure that your school, hopefully this will come across all right, doesn't come across like a sausage factory where you're just constantly enrolling students, and then once you've run the credit card, you're not really bothered about them. You need to make sure that you're still looking after them moving forward, because when people say to me word of mouth can work positive and negative. So word of mouth in a positive way is, oh, you need to go down to Kaisendorf Kratty, that's fantastic, they really look after us. I know it's a little bit dearer than others, but they're amazing, honestly, go down there. On the flip side, it could work negative, and they could go, don't go there, they take your money off you, then they're not bothered, then you signed up for a 5-year contract. I'm going on extremities here, but word of mouth can work positive and negative, so you need to make sure it's always working in the positive favour for you. Not only that, because I'm sure you know this anyway, bad news, negative vibes spread 5-10 times quicker than positive stuff. So you need 10 people to refer you compared to just the one person who's going to negatively refer you, because they'll cancel each other out. That. So I hope that made sense. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I need to know, give it a like as well. I need to know what my mentees, what viewers like to see, what they'd like to learn about. Maybe leave a comment in the comment section as well. Let us know what you want to know more about. But again, on this channel, there's a good few videos on here for martial arts school owners that are looking to improve the cash flow, build profits, build a nice, strong, systemized business, but ultimately look after the students and provide a fantastic service. So yeah, make your welcome calls, write your welcome letters, touch in within 24 hours, week 1, week 2, week 4. Make sure if you've got a team, you're all concerned about them progressing through. Help them work, set and achieve goals early on, and get them obviously on that positive journey, positive path moving forward. Take care, everybody. Like I said, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us some comments on other things you'd like to know. And if you haven't invested in the book yet, please do so. It comes out on April the 11th, 2025. If it's after that date, then get a copy from Amazon. How to Build a Highly Profitable Martial Arts School. Take care, everybody, and good luck. Don't forget to subscribe. All the best.